All right, everyone, here we are with ticker symbol CTRM, Castor Maritime Inc. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all the first-time viewers and investors. Welcome to the channel, Invest for Tomorrow, to all the subscribers. Welcome back. And as we dive into this chart, I do want every single investor and viewer to be aware that I have a ticker symbol to share with you guys towards the end of this video that you definitely do not want to miss. You definitely want to have this on your watch list if you don't have it already. So stay tuned for more information on that. And we're also going to talk about the tweet of the day, where I'm going to share with you guys daily my perspective about the market and different information that I see. And also you can receive updates that you won't receive on other platforms or even the YouTube on videos that I post that the notifications may not send out. So definitely stay tuned for all the information I have to share with you guys. So here we are, CTRM, Castor Maritime Inc. It's been going in a downward direction. We talked about the $1 mark being such an important point for this stock to stay above, and it continues to go to newer lows. So we're going to look at our new support and resistance in just a moment, but we can see here how the stock is testing newer lows and fighting to stay up, but regardless, it's been in a downward trend. Now, a lot of people are talking about different articles, different statements about how CTRM was or is or could be, right? That's the questioning here, shorted over 1,000%. I've read articles on it and talked to you guys about it, but you always want to be aware of who's making the statements and all the information that is shown. And then we also have different sources saying different things. So some investors have taken the time to comment and say, well, I'm seeing a different percentage, not 1,000% or nowhere near it in other sources. And then you go to Market Beat and you go to other sources as well, showing over 1,000% shorted. I'm not sure exactly who is correct and who is not. But one thing I could think about and say, okay, this might have some reasoning behind it, is the fact that CTRM has been a profitable business in the last 4 years, except for 2020. It got hit hard due to the COVID-19 and the way everything was working with distribution and transportation, And CTRM has expanded tremendously in the last several months. Going into March now, they have doubled their fleet, I believe, or almost doubled their fleet of ships. And even if they don't use all of them personally, they can lease them, they can rent them, and have other companies come to them, and they can make revenue off of this as well. So there's so many different avenues right now for CTRM when it comes to expansion. They've been doing it, and now what they can do with this expansion is grow revenues. So we need to keep that in mind as well, as CTRM is a growing company. But this needs to stay above $1. It definitely does, to show strength. And it's tested below it a few times, and we're getting close to that support level here of 92 cents being a very important point to watch. We're kind of above it just a little bit. It actually broke through it in this 30-minute time frame, but it's sitting right there at 94, 93, give or take. And then the lowest point that we've seen is 85 cents, being one of the most important support levels to watch, because this has been in a downtrend for some time after hitting a peak here of 195. So let's go ahead and zoom in here and see our new support. And our support here is 91 cents, 3 cents, 2 cents, give or take, away from where we're currently sitting. And 91 cents, if that gets broken through, it breaks through that 92 cent mark. And now we need to watch this carefully between 91 and 85 cents to see what's going on, and if the bulls are able to reappear and bring it back up, or are the bears tearing this stock down and the chart in a downward direction. So we definitely want to watch that carefully moving forward. So 91 cents is our first support level to keep an eye on. Now, our resistance falls at the $1 mark. We're going to look at that in just a moment. But our 50-day moving average is 101. That's the point that the bulls definitely want to break through, so they can go to newer highs. And then after that would be up here at 103. And then we're talking about up here at 108. Being one of the highest points after this slight recovery of touching 92 cents and working its way up with some momentum. Since then, we've been in a downward direction. So our resistance is $1. $1 is pivotal here for the bulls and for the stock itself overall. $1 needs to be broken through, turn into a support so that CTRM can reach newer highs, new resistance levels, and get deeper into bullish territory. So CTRM stock, Castor Maritime Inc., needs to go ahead and break through the dollar mark. CTRM stock needs to get out of bearish territory, and by doing so, they need to break through 101 to reach newer highs and new resistance levels. As always, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community, and don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watch this video. Stay tuned till the end because I have the tweet of the day to share with you guys and also a ticker symbol you want to have on your watch list if you don't have it already. For everyone that has stayed to this point in the video, the ticker symbol I'm about to share with you guys is definitely one you want to add to your watch list because we've been talking about it as it was going down back in February 21st over at the Patreon. So we're going to look at that in just a moment, but let's talk about the tweet of the day. And the tweet of the day is, when you know and understand the stock you are invested in, nothing can stop you from holding or buying more. Selling isn't an option. Does anyone have a stock in their portfolio that gives them this conviction? So I want to start off by saying thank you. And it was a very bold statement from every single investor that commented on this post. I really appreciate you guys stepping forward, sharing those stocks that give you this conviction based off your portfolio. And that means a lot. And it shows that you guys are on the right track to becoming much more of an investor that maximizes profits and minimizes losses. So I look forward to more investors engaging in these type of tweets that I will be posting daily. And also, I want every single investor and viewer that is watching to be aware that this is a very important part of an investor's life and lifestyle and building a portfolio. You need to have at least minimum one stock that gives you this conviction. Then nothing can stop you from holding it and buying more. Now, you obviously want to understand the stock and the company, but you need at least minimum one. Now, if you want to build a strong portfolio, you need to have at least 3 to 5. That's just something that I've seen work, and that's just something that I'm stating as a general perspective. But if you can do more than that, that's even better. If you do less than that, that's fine as well. But you just want to make sure that you're able to diversify just a bit and also find those stocks that give you that conviction that selling is not an option, because long-term investing has proven to be much more profitable, even though it's a slower process, than day trading and swing trading. Nothing against day trading and swing trading. Very effective trading strategies. I use them as well. But you always want to have a portfolio that you can always look at and say, no matter how red I am in this area, this stock is pretty stable or slightly red, but I see the days of it turning green ahead of time, right? That it's coming in the days ahead, or usually they stay green for you and the rest of your portfolio is sometimes a little bit rocky. So if anyone can go ahead and agree with me with that statement, you're more than welcome to. In the comments down below, I would love to see your guys' thoughts, but this is a very true statement, and I want every single investor and viewer to be aware of it. You need at least one stock minimum to give you this conviction. And then you also want 3 to 5 if you're trying to build a strong portfolio. So what's the stock to add to your watch list? Well, it's GNOG, Golden Nugget Online Gaming. So we talked about this one since February 21st over at the Patreon, and this is what I had stated. What attracted me most to these stocks? One of them was GNUG, and I posted it here with the graph, and you could see what price it was at. And the 21st of February was actually on the weekend. I talked about it for the first time on the 20th, and then on the 21st, I gave a full description on what is attracting me to this stock specifically at this week and at this time. So it had been in a downward spiral. It's close to becoming oversold. Now this could continue downwards. I stated that because we're nowhere near oversold. There was still room there. And the MACD was showing room to continue downwards. Or end up in sideways movement, which can be an opportunity to watch closely. Jikh is in a sector with potential in the upcoming months and even years. That is why this one is definitely one to add to your watch list. This was the time to watch this stock. And every single stock, as it's going downwards, it's the time to watch the stock and understand it. So let's go ahead and go over here to the 30-minute and see where it was at on February 21st. Well, we went ahead and caught it right at this point when we were talking about it. It was sitting around here. The 22nd, it started to go downwards. We were watching it, and this is the 30-minute time frame. But when we go over to the 1 day, which is the same chart that I was using, we could see that the oversold was almost there. We were really close to it. The 22nd, it had finally touched it, right? It was sitting right here on that picture. It touched it. It broke through it. And the 23rd turned out to be the lowest that we've seen this stock hit. And it hit a low here of $13. Bounced back, touched it again. And from that point forward, it's taken off, right? I'm not saying it's going to take off to oversold and that it can't come right back down to this area, but it's been pulling upwards. So it hit its low. It was fighting in the $14, $15 range, and it started to run up, and it hit a peak here of $16.76, sitting at $16.18, and it certainly continued that downward trend as I stated. But when you also look at it, we're now back to a slight sideways movement since the day I talked about it as it was going downwards. Now this stock has shown its potential, right? All the way up here in the 20s and probably even higher in the past. And it's been pulling downwards. It hit a bottom and the oversold section was touched. And since then, it's been pulling upwards. Now the volatility of the market with the ups and downs is bound to happen and be normal. But in the last week, a lot of great things have been happening for jikh when it comes to expansion and also getting into more states and stuff. And this sector overall has so much room for growth. So it is definitely one to watch carefully. We want to see if this pulls right back down to $14, $15 range, or will it consolidate here before the next catalyst? I mean, there are definitely a lot of reasons why to watch this closely, but we do know its lowest point was $13.40. And even if it breaks through that, I mean, this still has a lot of potential, and we'll have to watch it even closer. But for right now, it's shown strength, and it's brought itself up to newer levels, back to that sideways movement effect. And if it can consolidate here, and all it takes is another catalyst to hit newer highs, I mean, this was the best time to watch this carefully to understand that the strength is there, the consolidation, and now we're going to newer highs and new resistance levels. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.